This past spring, I was playing basketball in the park with my son Copeland, and a man came up to us asking if he could shoot. We began to exchange stories, and I couldn't help but tear up because of all this man had been through, yet how grateful he was. I was inspired by the resolve in his eyes and the love in his heart. The love he had for his 2-year-old son Khalil, for a random stranger on the basketball court, and most importantly, for being sober. I didn't know how or why or when, but I was determined to tell his story and do all I could possibly do to help this man. So now I'm gonna help. Meet Omar.
Once I started smoking crack, that became the destruction, man. Like everything. That was the end all, the be all. Crack just took it to a new level, right? Because I became that. When I still did the other drugs, I still managed to have a social life, a life with some normality. I could hold down a job. I could even hold down a relationship. But once the crack came into play, that was it, right? Like everything else went out the window. When I look back in hindsight, I understand that I probably had an addictive personality. I probably used to try not to feel some of the things that I was going through or some of the things I was dealing with. It didn't matter what I didn't do. It didn't matter if I didn't see my son, if I didn't bathe, if I didn't eat. Nothing else mattered but just using. They say insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Well, I must be a little insane because for years, man, I did it knowing the end result, but I coerced myself into believing, convinced myself into believing that this time I could do it differently, right? And that was pretty insane. And it's a never ending cycle. And then, like I said, like the hopelessness, man, starts to set in, right? And I at the end, man, I literally tried to step in front of a train, right? And the thought of my son, man, prevented me. I wanted to step in front of a train. I was too much of a coward to do it. I was at the train platform, right? Had spent all my money, right? Was at the end, right? And didn't want to live no more because I didn't feel like I could go on. And hopelessness, right, is a terrible place to be. Because when you lose all hope, you lose all desire, all energy, all thoughts of getting better, right? And I really, literally wanted to step in front of the train. That had a warrant. I actually assaulted my ex-wife. It was as a result of not being able to deal with my feelings and dealing with my emotions. And the drugs, man, it took me to a place, man, where I became a stranger to myself, right? And while I assaulted her, man, I was on the run, right? And this happened in like May of 2014. On July the 14th, while I was on the run, I knew the police was looking for me. I made a decision, right, that I was going to get clean one last try. And then in October, I was going to get my son, rushing to meet his mom on 31st Street, right? And I didn't have change to get on the subway, and I snuck on the train with a warrant, right? See, now this goes to talk about, like, it ain't just the drugs, it's a warped sense of thinking. Because if you know that you have an open warrant, you're supposed to walk, you're supposed to toe the line. But I snuck on the subway because I didn't want to be late to go get my son. Subsequently, I got arrested, right? And the result was the warrant popped up, right? And the running was over, right? The reason why I'm not in prison today is because I took the initiative while I was on the run from the law and went and got clean. I didn't get clean to appease the courts. I didn't get clean for nobody other than for me. I owe everything good in my life to recovery, and I'm not delusional about that, right? Like, I don't ever want to live the life that I live. It's somebody that may see this, man, that's struggling, that might get a little hope and a little bit of inspiration, because I talked about being hopeless, right? His mom left me at 7.5 months pregnant, right? Because my addiction had got out of hand, right? She was my wife for less than a year, and she left me, man. Today, I know she did probably the greatest thing she could have done for herself as well as me, right? Because had I been permitted to stay and continue doing what I was doing, it ain't no telling what type of damage I may have done. She never gave up hope on me, and that's the reason why my son is such an integral part of my life today, because she believed in me when I barely didn't even believe in myself, right? And she allows me, right? She allows my son to be a part of my life right now in the way that he is. My son lives with me, man, right now. He's going to school his first year with me. This is invaluable. Nothing could ever replace this. Every day I'm so grateful, right? I'm talking about, like, you can't even understand. You said you met me in the park and we sat down and we talked. You don't understand what a privilege it was for me to be in that park with my son. And life ain't so bad, man. Like I said, my home is humble, man. But today when I do move, when I do decide to move from this residence, I'm gonna need a small U-Haul, right? And considering that a year ago I came up here with 30 days clean, no, actually 29 days clean, $500, man, and a little bit of hope, right? A little bit, right? A little bit of hope. I've been blessed with a great opportunity. You know, like, do you know how many dads out there want to be dads and have been robbed of the opportunity sometimes due to no doing of their own, right? And me, somebody who actually doesn't deserve, right, the blessing that I've been bestowed with, man, given the opportunity to do it, and I like cherish every moment. He's not only my responsibility, he's my obligation and my passion. That's why anytime somebody say, wow, you're such a wonderful father, I tell them, right, like, there are a lot of men with this responsibility, right, but it's where they place it on the list of priorities, right? He's my passion, right? And if I have to live the rest of my life being just his dad, then that's okay, right? If I never go back to work, that will be okay, right? Because I believe this, right, that a way will be made, right? Because there's no way that you could practice in doing the right thing, right, and not some blessings come your way, right? What do you consider a blessing? Maybe it's monetary, maybe it's not monetary, because I've had a lot and been in a bad place, and right now I can have a little, right, and be in a great place. It's personal. I can't afford to take for granted. I have to have gratitude, because gratitude will keep me where I'm at, man. Like I told you, grateful addicts don't get high.
Thank you guys for watching Omar's story. He's a super inspirational dude and an amazing guy, and I feel like he came into my life for a specific reason, and it's to remind me of the power of gratitude. When I asked him to do the video, he didn't want anything in return. He simply wanted to instill hope in people. He wanted to inspire people and let them know that even someone with a 30-year drug problem can get clean and can stay sober and can find happiness on the other side. No matter what you are going through, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And being that he is so selfless in making this and he's inspired me so much, I want to do something nice for him. And I haven't told him yet. It's a secret. Omar actually has DMV fees to pay, and he doesn't have a car. He rides his bike all around town for everything he needs, to bring Khalil to school, to buy groceries, to go to his group meetings. So with the next $5,000 that's donated to Love Out Loud through survivordivine.com, we're gonna buy Omar a car, we're gonna pay off his DMV fees, and we're gonna pay to register and insure that car. He deserves it more than anyone I know. So please, go to survivordivine.com, make a donation to help us get Omar a car. And as always, if you can't make a donation, we completely understand. Just post a video expressing love and gratitude on the internet for someone you are grateful for using the hashtag LoveOutLoud. Or also just please share this video with any of your friends who may be interested in helping Omar. This is what Love Out Loud is all about. It's about people helping people. It's a people revolution because love belongs everywhere. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you soon.